Hi, I'm Isabel Potter. So regarding the Stanislavski method, I was actually raised mostly through this acting method. My high school teacher used it a lot, and that's kind of what she relied on. So she used a lot of the exercises, especially when it came to sitting in a room and just spreading out and being by yourself, and then saying the emotions out loud so you can express them. And her biggest stressor was always do what's coming to you naturally and instinctively. So personally, I was raised on Stanislavski, and I like to use it within my own classroom. So we tend to focus on that, especially when it comes to expressing emotions physically and verbally as characters. And I do tend to break them up in my units. We'll start with improv and go into Crow, which is character, relationship, objective, where and when. But we start to get those outside figures. Okay, our objectives. What are you making happen in that scene? Now they've learned that boundary. Then we go into vocal expression. And now we're going to talk about, okay, how is your voice going to sound when your character is 30? Your given circumstance. So that's a lot of how I will bring that into my production. When it comes to our production process, we will use this during our warm-ups or our exercises. Even going into character analysis, I have all of my production actors using character analysis through the Stanislavski method, where we'll break them down. We'll talk about what are their given circumstances, how old are they, what did they do for work. If it's not there, make it up. What were they like when they were 12? Did they have any siblings? I have them dive deeper into these methods, and then we'll go in and we'll go, okay, what does your character want from this scene? And they'll dive into it that way, and then they'll bring out their instincts, and we'll run it again. And we'll run it now knowing those objectives and what the character wants and how they're trying to get it. And they'll instinctively come out naturally more realistic to the character, which I always very much appreciate. The only concerns that I find with actors regarding training is sometimes they want to do their own style, which I totally respect. I think that any art form can have its own method. I just personally prefer Stanislavski, so I will teach my students and I'll have them try it. And the biggest thing I teach them is just try it. Even if you don't like it, at least you'll know you don't like it. Give it a chance. So we will give Stanislavski chances with our actors. Usually we don't tend to have very many problems with them. Some of my actors do like to overthink their characters. So they will tend to, do that practicing in the mirror. They will tend to dive a little too deep into the character, that they lose their natural ability. And similarly to what I posted in the discussion forum, where sometimes objectives become to, oh, well, this line I'm trying to make this happen, and this line I'm trying to make that happen. My students or my actors can become too hyper-focused on that and not realize that we're focusing on the super objective. What is that bigger objective that we want to happen? So that's kind of my experience with the Stanislavski and the Moscow Art Theater.